CertPunch practice round for CEH. 21 questions. Read the prompt, choose the best answer before the reveal, then listen for the exam logic behind it. Let's begin. Question 1 of 21. As a newly appointed network security analyst at a mid-tier company, you've been tasked with assessing the security of the network. As part of this, you need to ensure that your company's network can detect and prevent evasion techniques. You know that one popular evasion technique used by attackers is using packet fragmentation. Which of the following IDS configurations should you implement to counteract this particular technique? Option A, employing a signature-based IDS that recognizes the specific signature of fragmented packets. Option B, configuring the IDS to reject all fragmented packets to eliminate the risk. Option C, implementing an anomaly-based IDS that can recognize the irregular traffic patterns caused by packet fragmentation. Option D, adjusting the IDS to recognize the regular intervals at which fragmented packets are sent. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is correct because an anomaly-based IDS detects the irregular patterns from fragmented packets, which signature-based IDS might miss. Rejecting all packets is too disruptive. Question 2 of 21. You are conducting a vulnerability assessment in a segmented internal network. When scanning a set of IPs using the NBT scan tool, you discover multiple devices responding with NetBIOS names, but only one of them has the entry in its response. What does this indicate about that specific host? Correct answer? Option A, it is the Domain Master Browser, or Primary Domain Controller, PDC. Option B, it has disabled NetBIOS over TCP/IP, resulting in limited response. Option C, it is the local system from which the scan is being run. Option D, it is a rogue DHCP server impersonating a legitimate host. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. This is correct because the Domain Master Browser, or PDC, is the only device that responds with the NetBIOS name entry. The other options don't explain why only one host responds this way. Question 3 of 21. You have recently been hired as an entry-level IT technician in a large corporation. In a meeting with the IT team, the terms ethical hacking and penetration testing are mentioned frequently. Later, a colleague explains to you that the main difference between the two is based on their goals. What is the primary goal of an ethical hacker in comparison to a penetration tester? Correct answer? Option A. An ethical hacker is primarily focused on securing the system, while a penetration tester tries to exploit the system's vulnerabilities. Option B. An ethical hacker seeks to bring the system down, while a penetration tester is focused on improving system security. Option C. An ethical hacker is focused on exploiting system vulnerabilities, while a penetration tester aims to secure the system. Option D. An ethical hacker aims to improve system security, while a penetration tester seeks to bring the system down. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. An ethical hacker aims to secure systems by fixing vulnerabilities, while a penetration tester exploits them to assess security. This distinguishes their core objectives and approaches. Question 4 of 21. In a highly secure online banking environment, customers have reported unauthorized access to their accounts, despite robust authentication measures in place. Upon investigation, it is discovered that attackers are employing sophisticated session hijacking techniques to compromise user sessions and conduct fraudulent transactions. The security team is tasked with implementing effective countermeasures to prevent further unauthorized access and protect customer accounts. Considering the scenario described, which advanced session hijacking technique, resembling a scenario-based attack, poses the greatest challenge for the security team to detect and mitigate effectively, potentially compromising the security of online banking transactions? Option A. Covert cross-site scripting, XSS attack, injecting malicious code into online banking web pages. Option B. Man in the browser, MITB attack, installing malicious browser extensions to intercept user sessions. Option C. passive sniffing attack, capturing encrypted session tokens on unsecured Wi-Fi networks. Option D, session fixation attack, manipulating session identifiers in HTTP cookies. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Man-in-the-browser, MIT-B attacks use malicious extensions to intercept sessions, making them hard to detect as they operate within the trusted browser environment. Question 5 of 21. During a red team exercise, a certified ethical hacker, CEH, is working on exploiting a potential vulnerability in the target's web server. The CEH has completed the information gathering and footprinting stages and mirrored the website for offline analysis. They have also discovered the server is prone to session hijacking. Which next step is most likely to be part of a successful attack methodology, keeping in mind the requirement to minimize the possibility of detection? Option A, attempt SQL injection to extract database information. Option B, directly apply brute force attack to crack the server's password. Option C, perform vulnerability scanning with automated tools to find additional weaknesses. Option D, hijack a session and immediately modify server configuration files. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Hijacking a session and modifying config files is stealthy, avoiding detection while maintaining control, unlike noisy methods like brute force or automated scans. Question 6 of 21. During a penetration test, a security analyst encounters a web page that returns identical generic error messages, regardless of input. To test for SQL injection, they submit a query that includes and 1 equals 1, and later and 1 equals 2, observing a change in the page content. What type of injection is being tested? Option A, the analyst is measuring response delays to infer true-false outcomes. Option B, the analyst is triggering visible database errors to gain structural insights. Option C, the analyst is using conditional logic to infer database behavior from page responses. Option D, the analyst is appending a union clause to extract data from additional tables. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is a Boolean-based SQL injection test, as the analyst uses true-false conditions to infer database behavior from page responses. The trap is confusing this with other injection types like time-based or union-based attacks. Question 7 of 21. Which service in a PKI will vouch for the identity of an individual or company? Option A, KDC. Option B, CBC. Option C, CR. Option D, CA. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. A CA vouches for identity by issuing and signing digital certificates. Options A, B, and C are unrelated PKI components, making them easy elimination cues. Question 8 of 21. An incident investigator asks to receive a copy of the event logs from all firewalls, proxy servers, and intrusion detection systems, IDS, on the network of an organization that has experienced a possible breach of security. When the investigator attempts to correlate the information in all of the logs, the sequence of many of the logged events do not match up. What is the most likely cause? Option A. Proper chain of custody was not observed while collecting the logs. Option B. The attacker altered or erased events from the logs. Option C. The network devices are not all synchronized. Option D. The security breach was a false positive. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Mismatched event sequences are caused by unsynchronized device clocks. Option B is a distractor. Attackers typically don't alter log timestamps without leaving traces. Question 9 of 21. A red team simulation reveals a malware strain that adapts its behavior based on observed user activity and evades detection by altering its code dynamically. The malware exfiltrates data only when the system is idle and uses encrypted channels for communication. Based on these traits, what is the most probable nature of this malware? Option A, a worm that exploits known OS vulnerabilities to propagate. Option B, rootkit that hides files and processes from detection. Option C, polymorphic virus that changes its signature during replication. Option D, AI-powered malware using machine learning to tailor its execution. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. The malware's adaptive behavior suggests AI-powered techniques. Option C is a traditional virus, while AI malware learns and evolves, evading static detection methods. Question 10 of 21. Your role as a cybersecurity analyst at XYZ Corporation requires you to perform a thorough security assessment of the company's online presence. You initiate the process with a passive reconnaissance phase, trying to gather as much information as possible without interacting directly with the target system. Which of the following techniques or tools is least likely to assist you in this endeavor? Option A, inspecting the Whois database for domain registration details. Option B, monitoring public posts and profiles on social media platforms and professional networking sites. Option C, using a tool like Nmap to scan the company's public IP range. Option D, utilizing search engines and associated services, Google, Bing, Google Earth, etc. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Nmap scanning involves active interaction, making it unsuitable for passive reconnaissance. The other methods gather info without direct system probing, aligning with passive techniques. Question 11 of 21. As a security analyst, you are testing your company's network for potential vulnerabilities. During your investigation, you suspect that an attacker might be using MAC flooding to compromise the switches and sniff network traffic. Which of the following indicators would most likely confirm your suspicions? Correct answer. Option A, numerous MAC addresses that correspond to a single switch port. Option B, the presence of multiple IP addresses assigned to a single MAC address. Option C, the existence of multiple MAC addresses assigned to a single IP address. Option D, an increased number of ARP requests in the network traffic. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option A. Please take a moment to consider the following statement. If you believe this answer is correct, please like the video. If you believe it is incorrect, please comment. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. The answer is option A. Exam logic. MAC flooding overloads a switch's MAC table, causing it to broadcast all traffic to a single port, which allows sniffing. This is a core network attack scenario tested on the CEH. Question 12 of 21. During a black box pen test, you attempt to pass IRC traffic over port 80/TCP from a compromised web-enabled host. The traffic gets blocked. However, outbound HTTP traffic is unimpeded. What type of firewall is inspecting outbound traffic? Option A, packet filtering. Option B, stateful. Option C, application. Option D, circuit. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Application layer firewalls inspect the content of traffic, distinguishing between legitimate HTTP and disguised IRC, a core concept in firewall evasion and defense. Question 13 of 21. As a cybersecurity consultant, you have been hired by a multinational corporation to identify potential security risks in their network. During the enumeration phase, you utilize LDAP to gather information about the network infrastructure. However, you observe that some critical information isn't retrievable. What could be the primary reason for this? Option A, the LDAP service is running on a non-standard port. Option B, the LDAP directory data is protected by access control lists, ACLs. Option C,
The company network is currently experiencing heavy traffic, leading to dropped requests. Option D, the hosts are located in a different subnet. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option B. Exam logic. ACLs on LDAP restrict data access during enumeration, which is a common defensive measure against information gathering in network assessments. Question 14 of 21. After a recent breach, your team discovers that attackers used modified versions of legitimate system utilities and a Windows service to persist undetected for weeks, accessing internal credentials. What key step can be taken to better protect against similar future threats? Correct answer. Option A. Monitor file hashes of sensitive executables for unauthorized changes. Option B. Conduct weekly backups and store them off-site. Option C. Disable unused ports and limit outbound traffic via firewall rules. Option D. Ensure all systems run the latest antivirus and firewall software. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Monitoring file hashes is the most effective method for detecting tampering with legitimate executables, which is how the attacker achieved persistence. Question 15 of 21. While conducting a thorough reconnaissance operation on a potential threat actor's digital footprint, an ethical hacker working for a cybersecurity firm stumbled upon an interesting discovery. The threat actor appeared to have left a series of digital breadcrumbs across various internet forums and hidden web pages, pointing to a potential future attack strategy. The ethical hacker, wanting to gather as much information as possible about the actor's potential strategy without tipping them off, has to make careful tool and technique choices. Which of the following approaches should the ethical hacker most likely avoid to maintain a low profile and avoid alerting the threat actor? Option A. Utilizing Internet Archive services like the Wayback Machine to inspect any past versions of the threat actor's web pages for additional clues. Option B. Directly interacting with the threat actor on the forums using a pseudonym to gain more information about their plans. Option C. Using the Tor browser to anonymously browse and investigate the hidden web pages without leaving a trace. Option D. Employing Whois and DNS lookup tools to gain information about the ownership and IP addresses associated with the internet forums. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Directly engaging a threat actor risks alerting them, jeopardizing the investigation. Other options allow passive information gathering without detection, which is safer for ethical hackers. Question 16 of 21. As a cybersecurity professional conducting a network vulnerability assessment for your organization, you discover a potentially critical vulnerability. This vulnerability arises from an outdated software component installed on a critical production server used by the financial department. The software vendor has acknowledged this vulnerability and promptly released a patch to fix it. However, the application of the patch has been deferred due to the department's operational needs, as they cannot tolerate downtime during business hours, which would significantly impact their productivity. The situation poses a significant risk due to the potential for exploitation until the patch is applied. With these constraints in mind, as a certified ethical hacker, what immediate action could you undertake to reduce the risk associated with this vulnerability without disrupting department operations? Option A. Initiate a full-scale penetration test on the vulnerable server to evaluate the true potential impact of the vulnerability. Option B. Continually monitor network traffic to and from the server to detect any attempts at exploiting the identified vulnerability. Option C. Insist that the financial department cease all operations and use of the server until the patch has been applied. Option D. Implement a strategy of virtual patching, providing a protective layer around the vulnerability until the actual patch can be applied. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Virtual patching provides temporary protection without downtime, aligning with operational constraints. This is a practical CEH approach for patch-deferred systems. Question 17 of 21. Lewis, a professional hacker, had used specialized tools or search engines to encrypt all his browsing activity and navigate anonymously to obtain sensitive/hidden information about official government or federal databases. After gathering the information, he successfully performed an attack on the target government organization without being traced. Which of the following techniques is described in the above scenario? Correct answer. Option A, dark web footprinting. Option B, website footprinting. Option C, VoIP footprinting. Option D, VPN footprinting. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Dark web footprinting involves anonymous, encrypted browsing to gather hidden intelligence. This contrasts with surface web or VoIP techniques, emphasizing anonymity and encryption. Question 18 of 21. You are a certified ethical hacker contracted by a technology company to perform a security assessment on Bluetooth-enabled devices. These devices have Secure Simple Pairing, SSP, enabled, which generally offers strong security. During your assessment, you identify an attacker trying to exploit a vulnerability in the SSP implementation by employing sophisticated brute force techniques. The attacker has partial access to the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Your mission is to identify the most effective method to counteract this attack. Which of the following countermeasures is most likely to be effective? Option A, implement device whitelisting to ensure only approved devices can connect. Option B, use Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE, for all Bluetooth connections to avoid traditional Bluetooth vulnerabilities. Option C, impose rate limiting to slow down the brute force attack. Option D, strengthen SSP by increasing the encryption key length for the Diffie-Hellman exchange. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option D. Strengthen SSP by increasing the encryption key length for the Diffie-Hellman exchange. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Rate limiting directly counters brute force attacks by slowing down guessing attempts. The elimination cue is that key strengthening isn't feasible if the attacker already has partial access. Question 19 of 21. A cloud provider faced a situation where one customer's malicious activity affected the organization's reputation and service delivery. Which security control would have most effectively prevented this issue? Option A, using strong encryption algorithms. Option B, enforcing robust authentication methods. Option C, implementing secure log management. Option D, assessing multi-tenant isolation techniques. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Multi-tenant isolation prevents one tenant's malicious actions from affecting others, which is critical for cloud security. This is a core CEH cloud concept. Question 20 of 21. You are a security analyst for a medium-sized e-commerce company. Recently, the company has been suffering from repeated incidents of session hijacking. To prevent future incidents, you've been asked to suggest a robust strategy to mitigate this risk. Which of the following approaches would you recommend? Option A, implement a security awareness program to educate employees on the risks and signs of session hijacking. Option B, implement a new physical security policy to prevent unauthorized access to the company's data centers. Option C, apply an IPsec VPN solution that encrypts the entire IP packet, thereby making session hijacking attempts more difficult. Option D, deploy a network-based intrusion prevention system, IPS, to detect and prevent session hijacking attempts in real time. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. IPsec VPN encrypts entire IP packets, making session hijacking much harder. This directly addresses the technical issue better than awareness or physical security. Question 21 of 21. Due to a slowdown of normal network operations, the IT department decided to monitor internet traffic for all of the employees. From a legal standpoint, what would be troublesome to take this kind of measure? Option A, all of the employees would stop normal work activities. Option B,
IT department would be telling employees who the boss is. Option C, not informing the employees that they are going to be monitored could be an invasion of privacy. Option D, the network could still experience traffic slowdown. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option C. Exam logic. Monitoring employee internet activity without their knowledge is a potential privacy violation and legal risk. Most companies require explicit consent or a published acceptable use policy to avoid legal issues.